But I want to welcome everybody to my channel, The Candy Shop. I am so excited. The Candy Shop. So this is my story time, The Candy Shop. Everybody, welcome to The Candy Shop. I am Candace, and this is Mimosa Monday. As soon as I get started, here we go with the screaming. So, hi, Hannah. How are you?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I got to Kennard. I got to have a nice vacation. This past weekend, I went to DC, visited my best friend. I didn't want to post too much out of respect for my family. I had an aunt that passed away. And so at the time that I had booked my ticket for the trip, she, of course, was living, had just celebrated her 91st birthday. So she passed away. We were definitely sad to lose her. She was my grandmother's oldest sister. So my weekend, I enjoyed myself. I needed a break from work. How was your weekend?
I spent my Saturday out with my mom for 7 hours that I didn't plan on it. But other than that, it was fine.
Cool. What are you drinking? I'm drinking a kiwi strawberry mimosa.
I don't listen. This is Brugal, 99 peaches and orange juice.
Oh, wow. What the heck is Brugal?
A Dominican rum. My people.
Wow. You always have something so fancy.
This is regular. I didn't know what to make. I was like, F it. I'm just going to toss them in here real quick. And I have champagne and orange juice. Like, I actually could have made a mimosa.
See, you should have.
I have 3 bottles of champagne in there. So I definitely could have just made a mimosa.
You should have. But let's get into it. You know, it's been a long week. I'm going to start doing more recordings again. It's just this time, well, usually around this time, I'm very busy at work. So hopefully it'll slow down and I can do some more of these shows, but I want to get into it. So we are going to first talk about DMX. I'm going to let Hannah have the honor of talking about it because he was near and dear to her heart. So I just want to say rest in peace, DMX. But Hannah, go ahead and share your thoughts.
Ooh, this is hard. My thoughts would be I know I didn't want to see him go, but I feel like he's at peace because he took a lot of all of his family struggles and the world struggles that he knew of and placed it upon himself. So I do feel like he's at peace. I would like them to do an autopsy because I'm trying to figure out what really happened. I know they say drugs, but I would like to know a little further of what happened out of nowhere, because sometimes it's people that haven't done drugs in their body after so many years of usage, it will just go out. So you never know what really happened until you do a full autopsy. So I hope the family has sense enough to order it. It is sad to see him go. I saw him in concerts, and to me, I think I really liked him so much because I was a PK so much. My first non-gospel artist I listened to was DMX. Like my first non-gospel concert I went to was Rough Riders and DMX. So to me, I think it meant a lot because it was like me not leaving the church, but like really knowing outside of the church what it was. So that was like my first taste of the other world. And to me, I took it hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really was depressed. I was really sad because I'm like, yes, I really liked him, and I went to all his concerts, and I'm happy I went to his last one in Philly in 2019 because I wasn't going to make it. I'm like, I don't want to make it. I don't want to go to a standing concert. And I'm like, it's DMX, I'm going. And I told Brenda this time, I was like, I'm not going. My cousin was like, we going. I'm like, you know what? I always go. We going. And I'm happy I was able to actually see him live. So you never know what can happen. But yeah, I was hurt. I'm not going to lie. I'm still a little hurt. I told Bert I wanted to go to the funeral. He told me I'm crazy. But I really wanted to go to White Plains and go to this viewing.
Yes. Well, hey, Lauren, welcome to the show. Yes, DMX Rough Riders is the reason he started riding motorcycles. Rest in peace, DMX.
That's what Lauren. The first the people. I'm emotional again.
I definitely like DMX. I was not a big fan though. I was more of a fan of the people affiliated with him. So like Eve, Dragon. At that time, I love me some Dragon. You couldn't tell me nothing. And he only had like one hit.
He went. Better off me. We get it on.
Yeah. So I was more of a fan of that. But I definitely feel for his fans. And I even though it is a sad occasion, I love the fact that when they were transporting his body from the hospital, his fans was rapping his song. That I love that he was very much loved. He was a great rapper. His story is sad because I did watch a documentary recently on it where they talk about how he was exposed to drugs at a young age. His weed was laced
14.
by a mentor. So yeah, and that's sad. That's sad. And we know, even though there's no autopsy, we can speculate that it was possibly drugs or just the effect of over the years the drug use that he's used. And sometimes our bodies we can't do it anymore. But Bert, he said, "What up, ladies? Rest in peace to the dog. He wasn't real one." Yes, he definitely was. So rest in peace, DMX. We are definitely sad to see him go. He is one of the greatest rappers ever.
Tell Bert, let me go to the funeral.
Yeah, let her go to the funeral, Bert. Y'all can go. So what are we gonna talk about next? I think I titled this "Latoya Forever Dates the Prophet," so we can take it to the Housewives of Atlanta. Yes. So
clear my mind.
I know on a more lighthearted topic. So Latoya Forever. So I watched majority of the show. I am kind of over this season. I don't like Latoya. She's her YouTube name is Latoya Forever, so that's why I'm calling her that. But apparently she was dating the prophet. He said, "Hell no, you can't go to the funeral." But apparently she was dating the prophet that Drew Sidora hooked her. Like I'm confused at this whole storyline. Lauren said, "My wife got me on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I cannot stand her." Exactly. Latoya is crazy. I'm gonna say this. I still do like Drew Sidora. I just don't like. I'm gonna tell you this. Sometimes LA people, California people can be a little messy. One of my very, very good friends is from LA, and they're the coolest people, but they be on some bull at times too. So, but I like Drew. I love her. Do I want to see her on the show again? No, but I do like Drew Sidora.
They don't like her.
I like her. Lauren said, "So what her ex said is true then. She banged the preacher." Yeah, she admitted it. I thought she admitted it.
Okay, so I watched the whole show, and even the prophet at the end stated that they had no sexual history. I mean, even if they did, well, the part that she broke up his home and family is a lie because he hasn't been engaged in 3 years, and he said that on camera over FaceTime. He said he hasn't been engaged in 3 years, so he ain't meet Toya 3 years ago. So clearly, she didn't break up his happy home.
This is my part that why I kind of agree with Drew. It's not the fact of breaking up the family and all that, but I don't like when, because we're both PKs. My grandfather's a pastor. I would have hated if, say, my grandfather was single and a woman is going to him for counsel, and all of a sudden they just start dating. That don't look right, because it makes it seem like, when you were counseling me, were you really trying to counsel me with the word, or were you just out to get with me? And so, with that being said, for me, if she did mess around with that prophet, it's kind of like messy. And Lauren said, right, Hannah, going back to what you said. But yeah, it just seems it's tacky. Like, keep everything separate. So I'm with Drew when I wouldn't want him blessing my child, because he's supposed to be, if he was so easy to date Latoya, who else was he supposed to be helping and counseling that he dated? I wouldn't want no parts of that. It just seemed messy to me, and I do not like mess like that. So I would try to distance myself. I didn't see the rest of the episode though, because I know you said her husband had the biggest issue with it. He said, "Is Drew the one from Chicago who almost fought her?" Yes, Drew is the one from Chi-Town.
Okay, so I'll give my take.
What'd you say?
I'll give my take. So I have like a 2-part. My first part is, yeah, Latoya is crazy. She needs help. But I go by a code. I don't care how crazy it is. I'm not putting your business out there. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel as though Drew outing Latoya and the Prophet was very messy and it was very wrong because that wasn't your business to tell. Like that was her whole story, the whole entire show. It was if she didn't have anything to film about and was like, bam, let me just drop this on all the girls. And then at that point, there was the opening of Blaze. That was not the place. It was just like, I mean, they were celebrating business people and you dropping it like that. The timing was off.
That's the part that I agree with because I feel like it was a mean girl move. Like that's the part for me with Drew. Now I understand she want to keep it real. Not to cut you off, honey. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you continue in a second. But not the. I know this whole keeping it real and all this other stuff. But I'm not keeping it real by telling somebody business. Now me keeping it real would have been like, chick, what's up? Clearly you want to fight because you're trying to put me out there like that. So I know I've grown up, but I would be ready to fight because that is something personal. Now, how they feel about it and talk about it in their home, that is their business. And so if I'll say this, if Drew was really being real and she had a problem with it, she should have went to Latoya one-on-one and said something to her about it, not at this event. So I definitely agree with you, but I'll let you go.
I'm going to say something about that last part. My thing is, if you got a problem with me, you address me face to face. Don't talk about me behind my back to a room full of people. For half of them don't even like me, and you don't either. I've always been upfront, and if I don't like you, I definitely don't bang with you. I don't front, I don't sugarcoat, I don't try to act like it. If I rock with you, I rock with you, and I mean, if I see you on the street, you fighting, I might jump in. It is what it is when I rock with you. My also thing was, Latoya, I go by the people involved in the party, so I understand what she's saying. I go with the people involved. Latoya said it was no truth to it. The Prophet got on there and stated out his own mouth that as soon as he started counseling Latoya, upon what Drew suggested, they stopped talking to him and got real funny with him. It had nothing to do with him dating her or anything. The moment he started talking to her, they decided that they were acting funny toward. Well, I'm sorry. First, she said Drew's husband started acting funny towards him, and they never called him back about the christening. This was before any type of rumor came out, before anything came to the surface. The moment they found out that he was counseling her, they just treated him a different way. And he stated it out his own mouth. He also denied the fact that she broke up a happy home. So, I mean, I'm not going to go around spreading rumors, but my thing is, you got to still take the word of the people involved. If they both saying it didn't happen, and Drew has yet to say who told her this. Because if he didn't tell you, and then Drew lied, because Drew said that the Prophet admitted to it, and he claimed and said, he said, I never admitted anything. They don't even talk to me anymore. So it's like a lot of people contradicting themselves.
I don't know who to believe because where there's smoke, there's fire.
I feel like Drew liked him or something, and because she acting really, to me, she's acting jealous more than upset.
I don't think she's acting jealous. For me, it's more, this is more of a reason for her to turn the girls against her. So this is, I don't think it's a jealousy thing. I agree with Lawrence where he said Toya had it coming, though. She was putting other people's business out there in Kenya.
I agree.
And Toya, to me, Latoya.
Lawrence really be watching.
Yeah. Latoya on the show, this is why I don't think it's jealousy. Like, think about the situation, Hannah. When they first met, Latoya went for Drew in her wig. So it's like even if it's trash, be classy enough and not funny, because in the end, I'm gonna feel like you hating on me. First of all, whatever I got on has nothing to do with you. Like we're grown here. You don't have to tell me nothing about my wig. If you feel a way about it, that's you. We just don't have different styles. So that's where Latoya, I think, went wrong. And I feel like Drew, I in the beginning, Drew felt like she was always being attacked, because remember Latoya said something about Drew's husband as well. And so I don't think it's jealousy. It's more Drew doesn't like Latoya. She has to work with her because she's her colleague. And this is the story to turn everybody else against her. She's using this so they can be mad at her. So, yeah.
But don't lie. And I don't care what nobody say. I do also feel like Drew is going in more with Latoya and the thing too. I feel like Latoya know more about that whole party that Latoya actually, she could tell everybody business, but she been acting like she ain't see nothing. But I really feel like Drew did more at the party too. And if she could get the heat off her, then
You talking about the bachelor
Yes,
party?
I feel like Drew did way more than back her thing up on the stripper. And
I
I
just
feel like, you know how when you in a tight situation, you like to get the heat off you? Now the big scandal is going to be LaToya and the Prophet, but the reunion is a couple weeks, so I'm just ready for that at this
yeah.
point.
No, I guess I'm not gonna say I'm biased, but in looking at LaToya's page and things that she's done, she doesn't like black women, even though she's supposed to be black. So even though she feel like she's being attacked, she's attacked a lot of people. And then when you go to her YouTube channel, she attacks black women. Like she has colorist issues. She talked about a best friend of hers that had braids and had big lips. The way that we are in our features, she talked so bad about it. So I guess I'm just not.
For YouTube.
Yeah, I'm never gonna. And she talked about that she has colorist issues. On Real Housewives of Atlanta, she looks darker, but LaToya Forever on her YouTube channel looks very high yellow. So I don't know
Oh.
if she's tanning for this show or what. But I don't know. I'm not feeling her. I have not.
Girl.
Yeah, she said, or Lauren said, Toya knows what she knows because of Kenya. They both messy. Yes, I don't like Kenya, and I know you like Kenya.
I don't care. I love Kenya, and
I like the way Kenya
everybody
looks.
was coming at Kenya on Twitter like, why she not leaving work? If I ain't had no prenup, I wouldn't leave his ass either. Excuse me, I wouldn't leave him either. It's cheaper to keep him.
I like the way Kenya looks, and I like her legacy, but I don't like what the things she's done to stay on this show. Now, prior to the show, I love Kenya because she was the first Black Miss USA in 1993. I remember because I watched it. I was 10 years old, so I was definitely a fan of Kenya's before she joined the show. But seeing her on the show, the first season, I liked her then because she would twirl and she was fabulous. I hated the fact I used to think that Phaedra was jealous of her. But things changed. Kenya to me became messier to either keep her peach, or I don't know. It's just certain things Kenya does, and I think she has to heal some of the trauma that she's gone through as a child. But I do not like the way Kenya moves on the show. I can't stand it, and it takes away from growing up, me looking up to her. It takes away from all the things I looked up to when I was a child. So
I think I kind of look at her a little different because I watch like her on Candy Show, whatever, like off script, and they all three of them were admitting that the way they edit the scenes is to make Kenya look worse than what it like when she comes back like riling at people. They edit what led up to that, and I feel like they need a villain. So
yeah, I was going to say because Nene's gone.
I think that they're making her be the villain, and that's why they edit the way they do. Because even Candy was saying that, like the last part when they was at that barbecue before they left or whatever, Candy was like they left a whole 30-minute segment out of what led up to that whole thing, and just had Kenya looking like a lunatic. So I do agree. Like sometimes when it's like selling. I'm not saying selling your soul, but when you go on reality shows, when they need a villain. Kenya's the villain, but I feel like Marlo about to be the next villain at this point.
Usually I like the villain because I was a big Nene fan. I'm a Jen Shah fan, so usually the villains are the highest paid. They are the most controversial, and they have the most fans. So I'll say this. The thing about Kenya, her being the villain comes off kind of fake because it's like she's orchestrating things versus actually just being it. Like Nene is just Nene. Like she when she would come with her stuff like whoop and I don't get regular money. I get Trump checks. Like she was just quick on her feet though with the come exactly Kenya. I think they write Kenya's reads because, somebody like Nene is from Marietta, but grew up in Atlanta. Originally, I guess her family is from New York, but they moved down here. But anyways, somebody growing up in Atlanta, you know how to read. You get quick on your feet. Even though I'm not from here, just being here, I'm very quick on my feet with the comebacks just because of being around people. You always got to be on guard. And so Nene naturally does it, whereas Kenya just be coming off real corny at times. She does the most. So
it's not her character.
Yes, and she should have. I know she wanted to be the villain, but I think her character is actually like Cynthia, which is why her and Cynthia are very close. But they couldn't have two boring women on the show. So one of them.
Time Kenya got boring. Remember, she was off that whole season. When she wanted to focus on her marriage and become, she was not on that whole next season.
I like what Lawrence, you got to come on the show one day and talk about this. He said Toya is wanting to be the villain role. Her old white YT wasn't who she is now. She's clout chasing. Exactly. And her ex said it. I saw the interview, the Tasha K interview with her ex. He says she's clout chasing.
He's so to me, corny. He is corny as hell.
To me, she actually made more money by doing her YouTube. He was saying she only makes like $1,000 an episode on Housewives.
Corny. Why are you putting your ex-wife, whatever business out in the street?
Or YouTube. Like, oh, he was saying YouTube.
But what happened to men acting like, and I'm sorry to bring this to your show because this is only me saying it. What happened to men acting like men? Like, men wasn't gossiping.
Did you watch
the camera and talking?
Did you watch the interview? Did you watch
the interview? And I watched his live first.
Because I was gonna say, I felt like he didn't necessarily put her in a negative light.
Did you see his live?
No, I watched.
That's the one I sent you and said, watch it.
And then
his live, he was going in talking to her like she was a random chick on the street.
Like, have you seen, Hannah? I gotta ask you this though, and not to be, and I'm not no pick me. I'm all for women upliftment, but this woman is like Lauren said, she came for him. She does a lot of stuff, and I feel like this man still respectfully talked about her on Tasha K's show. He didn't tell a lot of information. Tasha K wanted him to go there, but there was things he wouldn't even say.
He went on live and did it himself to get his own views.
Well, I respect him for that because
I'll do too. Get your coin your own way. Don't give
because this little Latoya forever be coming for him all the time. And I'm sorry, Lawrence, I messed up the comment. I want to read that again. So he was saying her old YouTube wasn't who she is now. Exactly, she's clout chasing. Like, she's very outspoken.
Follow her. Should I follow her?
Just go watch the videos. You might. She's like so nasty.
Ooh.
She is. She's nasty. I wouldn't give her no followers.
Okay, I'm not gonna follow her. I'll just go watch the video.
Just go watch it. Some videos, like it just, I'll say this, and I feel like I'm getting loud, but some of the videos, it's like two different. Yes, it's two different people. But she does not identify with Black women. I'm gonna tell you that now. She is Trinidadian. I think that's what she is. Grew up in Canada, and now, see, Lawrence just said no, Hannah, don't follow her. Yeah, I'm telling you. And on this
follow
on this Housewives show right now, she's playing the victim. But this, like, what did Malcolm X say? What did Malcolm X say? When you send the chickens out, one day they gonna come home to roost. And her chickens came home to roost. So I
don't care what came to roost. Don't tell my business out in these streets if you don't know.
But she was telling other people business.
I'm talking about Drew.
I'll say this. She opened up that goddamn, excuse my language, she opened up that goddamn platform because she was telling people business. I gotta go cut some air on. My flashes is kicking in. All right. So I'll let you out. But no, I feel like she opened up the platform to have her business told because she goes off on everybody. Nobody is safe with Latoya forever. So I hope Hannah will see this because I'm not feeling her. I'm adding Hannah back to the screen because I don't like how big I look on the screen. But Lawrence, you definitely need to come on and talk about this show. We're going to do a reunion special. Can you make me another drink? Sorry. We're going to do a reunion special. When Hannah gets back, we're gonna switch to the next topic.
Oh, we should look real. We should dress in ball gowns for the reunion special.
Ball gowns,
like we at the reunion. I got a couple in my closet.
I feel like it was just for Cardi.
Not pray for Hannah. Look, I'm in here roasting.
I felt like Soldier Boy with ball gowns.
Ball gowns.
Oh, thank you.
Just like Cinderella.
Yes.
I mean, just get cute, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm really hot. What's wrong with me?
Oh, I don't know.
Girl.
I don't know. Maybe it's the liquor.
So we go every night.
We gonna move from Housewives of Atlanta because Hannah, it sound like you taking up for Toya.
I'm not. Let me say this right now. She's crazy. She needs help. I am not taking up with her. I'm just saying this. Even if I don't like you, I don't put your business in the street. I don't care what you said. There's been people that talk so much trash about me, and I know a lot about them, and I still keep it to myself. I guess I don't know. You know, I'm from Philly, so we kind of different.
I can laugh at that because
I'm not your business in the street, even if you talk about me. But just know I got receipts.
It's been people that's talked mad crazy about me, and you know, but these are my friends. But I don't talk about people, period. But everybody ain't built the same. And on this TV show, this is entertainment. So they sign up for this.
I want Drew back though. Drew and her husband can go.
I like Drew. I don't want Latoya back.
I don't want Latoya back either. Bring Nene back.
Lauren said, mark my words, Drew and Toya will fight. And
I want them to.
And Drew will mollywop Toya because Drew is from Chicago. She was ready to fight her a few episodes ago.
I feel like Drew really can't fight though.
Don't let the smooth taste food.
I don't feel like Latoya can fight either.
That's what I tell.
One of them can really fight. I just feel like they can like maybe do a little scrimmaging. I tell people one of them got hands.
I tell people this all the time, and now people may believe it because I've gotten a little bigger now. But my saying used to be like, I may be nice, but please don't let the smooth taste food, because you might get got with me because you weren't expecting it. So,
well, I kind of feel like you can whoop some ass. So I mean,
well,
not I used to be like that. Like I used to be. Well, no, I used to be a fighter. I ain't gonna front. But my brother was a boxer, so he taught me how to fight. So he taught me how to actually fight men, which is weird that my brother taught me how to fight men. Like, who wants to fight a man? But when I wouldn't want to fight, but when it was time to fight, we rumbling because I'm not arguing with nobody out in the streets. Now I'm older. I got kids and something to lose.
I was gonna say,
fight you unless I have to. I'm not fighting anyone at this age. I used to care what you do.
Exactly. Do you know I used to fight men, and Kennard actually had to pull me. At like I don't know, something just ticks in me. First of all, I grew up with women, so I will fight a man for some reason before I fight a woman because I'm a girl's girl. So I'm all about protecting the girls, regardless of if I like you or not. If I see a man is in your face, I'm finna try to fight him. And so Kennard.
Rumbling, man.
I remember we were in the bar once, and this guy, this man was talking to me, and I'm doing the hookah with Kennard, and he was like, "Oh, you just too friendly." And I was like, "What? You talking to me? Did you want me to be like, get the F out my face?" And I turned up. Like, what was you expecting? Like, I just went off. And Kennard was like, get back. And he gonna tell Kennard, you need to check your woman. I said, no, somebody need to check your ass. So
yes, you should.
Yes, Hannah does look like
I look like I don't.
Yes.
I wanted to slam somebody in Atlanta, but other than that, I don't fight anymore. Actually, I'm very calm. I had a lot of anger. I'm gonna be honest though. I had a lot of anger issues back then. So the moment you looked at me wrong and said something wrong, I'm just gonna punch you in your face, and that was kind of bad. I mean, I'm older now.
No, you know we're from up north. That was an up north thing.
Philly, you had to rumble in Philly.
Yeah, if somebody is staring at you, and I told my husband this because it was a chick that he knew that was staring at me. I said, when you stare at somebody, that means you want to fight.
You want to rumble. Thank you.
Because we used to
want to rumble.
Remember back in the day, they used to call it mean mugging. Like, why are you mean mugging me?
Yeah. I remember people used to be outside. I remember. So, you know what's crazy though? My problem was back then, a lot of my fights were not my fights. Like, I used to fight for other people, which was bad. I think I got in 2 fights. One fight was when I was stupid over a pencil in school. And the other one, some white boy called me the N-word. And I didn't know. That was my first time. I went to a predominantly white school. He called me the N-word, and I punched him in his face and knocked him on his behind and was like socking him. And these other guys in the class start rumbling him too. But all I heard was N-word. No, because I was a nerd. I used to have my hand up, trying to answer all the questions. And he was calling me a smart N-word. And I'm like,
oh, wow. No.
Right in his face.
Lawrence said it all. I don't fight. I don't argue. I just hit that beat with a bottle. That was the song.
You know it, Lawrence.
Lawrence, back in the day, because I was a skinny girl in college, we used to go buy bats from Walmart, and they don't let me pull up in my car and pop my trunk.
I had a Saturn. It's over.
So that is hilarious. But Lawrence, yes, I used to love that song. Yeah, Sister Anthem. That and Kaya can't. What was the song? After Mother Hoes. I don't know if you remember that, Hannah. It might be a little.
Thug Misses?
Yes.
I had Thug Misses.
I'm a big Kaya fan, and I think I mentioned
like Kaya on the show. Because a lot of people they only know Kaya from My Neck, My Back. I'm like, y'all really gotta get into Kaya. I
know Kaya, Thug Misses, Don't Trust No End, After Mother Hoes.
But I'm a Trina fan, so
I told Kanea that. Do you know? And sorry not to get off on a tangent. I'm finna go to the next topic. But I was out with my bestie over the weekend, and we were listening to. They played a lot of Meg Thee Stallion when we were out, and so Kanea was like, "They need to play some Kaya." I was like, "Yeah, they do," but I like Meg Thee Stallion, and I was like, "I don't." Low key, I feel like Trina rap better than Kaya. She was like, "What?"
Yes. The baddest B was, first of all, you know how I'm dating myself. I used to listen to the baddest B on my Walkman. They didn't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Over and over again. I was listening to the baddest B album over and over. Like, why am I listening to this?
Yeah, see, well, I'm not gonna lie. Me and Kanea, we bought from Target. We split the CD. We bought Kaya's Thug Misses CD from Target when I was at the time I was living in Maryland. We were home from school, and those that don't know, my bestie is actually from Baltimore. She lives in. Oh, Lauren's gonna say Trina is his ex. My bestie lives in DC now. That's who I just saw. But we were in Germantown, Maryland. And I remember we bought that album. Maybe it was at Walmart or Target, but we bought that album. And I had an old 93 Chevy Cavalier white. Put that in my car. And we you know what? I might have had my new Cavalier. My mother had bought me a new one. I forgot when I graduated from high school. But we put that in the Cavalier, and I blasted that song all the way from Germantown to DC. I blasted the whole album. Oh, and yes, Jeopardy. That's right. Be More Stand Up. Yes, Kanea's from Baltimore. As they say, Baltimore.
That's why Kanea has said, because they say I have an up north accent. I'm like, I don't have an up north accent. This is how we talk.
With the chicken box and the half and half or whatever y'all be getting out of.
We was alone up there. I miss Philly.
Yes. Oh, so I love East Coast women. I'm sorry, y'all are the ones that are the most I'm from the Midwest, so we're Lisa Ray is technically from the Midwest. I don't want to claim her because she got colorist issues going on. But I'm from the Midwest, and Midwest Detroit stand up. My hometown, Milwaukee, Chicago, Cleveland. We're just as gritty and fine as the women on the East Coast. Ain't nothing like an up north chick. I'll say
you know it. And we'll have your back.
Oh, see, Jeopardy, yes. Chicken box and half and half. I used to, yes, that was me all day getting them. So we're going.
They don't have that down here. You gotta go to Chick-fil-A.
Exactly.
And get an Arnold
Palmer. The only place you can get him, and maybe Zaxby's. Zaxby's.
I forgot Zaxby's.
Yes. But we're going to go to the next topic. I want to talk about Martell Holt in the Strawberry Letter. Your face. Yeah, let me get my glasses because this Negro is about to get red tonight.
Red.
So, and I'm sorry if you can see my ring lights and my glasses. But
mine bouncing off.
Yes. For those that watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, Jeopardy says she rocked with Chicago too. I didn't know you lived in Chicago. We gotta follow up. And alert was news alert. So no longer am I going to Miami for my birthday. I want to go to DC. So please, Jeopardy, Hannah, Kanea. I want to turn up in DC.
I can drive to DC.
Yes. So I want
I literally
to.
just drove there on Wednesday.
If the Gaylord is open, because there's the Gaylord DC, I want to get like a room or two there, and we can turn up. I had a good time over the weekend, so yes, let's do DC. We can do Miami next year.
Just give me the time. Give me the times. I get cute.
Yes. So going back to she said, "Wait, what? DC? Yeah, come on, Jeopardy. Don't be like that."
I was looking forward to Miami, but I could do DC.
Yeah, Miami. I mean, I can still book it, but I like Miami. Miami is just too bougie for me.
I
Those
like
that
Key
really,
West better than Miami.
yeah, those that really know me, I'm a very gritty, laid back type of person. Like how to know the place we went to the lounge, it was laid back. So I'm not all into the
It
food,
was.
all this. I'm trying to just chill.
I'm
Have
in
a good
between.
time.
I'm in between. I'm a
Yeah.
little
So I
bougie
mean,
ghetto.
I will still look at Miami, but for me to go to a place like Miami, it has to be well planned out. And so if I'm going to do that, and I think I told some of the ladies that when I invite you, I was going to pay for our living. I mean, our where we stay, and y'all just had to pay to come. Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, I was going to pay for the where we stayed. I didn't have no problem with doing that, but I just
I pay my way.
yeah, of course, pay your way. With Miami, though, I just things like parking. I'm a real person.
Expensive as hell.
Yeah, and I don't like that parking, food, and I want something that's convenient. So if
I'm
we
down
were
for DC.
gonna, yeah, if we were DC or a cabin, we can do a girls thing. I know the cabins will be hot, but the cabins will be pop lit though. I don't. We might do Gatlinburg, so I don't know. But I'm gonna hit up my ladies.
Gatlinburg now. Can we fly there?
Gatlinburg. Well, it's not that far from me. It's only 2 or 3 hours.
I'm in North Carolina.
And my aunt talking about you paying. Okay, yes, Meredith, you can come too. Or Maddie Boo. She
I don't know about Gatlinburg now, Candace.
Gatlinburg is not that far.
For me.
How far? It's in like I went through part of
to you.
Look up Gatlinburg, Tennessee, because I went through like Rocky Mountain, North Carolina to get to Gatlinburg.
It's 40 minutes from me.
Exactly. So Gatlinburg is probably only an hour or maybe 2 hours at the most from you.
Oh, I can do that.
Well, yes, my aunt, she gonna join us too. She's like my sister.
In Gatlinburg?
Yeah, they have places to go.
Okay.
But with the cabins, I like having the girl party. Like, huh? Oh yes, okay. Yes. We'll talk on the sidebar.
All right,
so
I'm gonna calm down.
Yes, I want to talk about Martell Holt in the Strawberry Letter. So, for those that know who Martell Holt is, he's on a show called Love and Marriage. What did I say, Martell?
You said Martell Holt.
Martell Holt. I had it right the first time. Martell Holt.
You did.
But Martell, the baby is crying. Martell Holt is on a show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. He had a 5-year relationship with a mistress on his wife. His wife left him because he got the mistress pregnant. And so he did a Strawberry Letter on how to get over the divorce because they're officially divorced now. And he talked about wanting to date again. And like, I wanted to say, sir, I thought you was dating. I thought you was dating with the other chick that got your baby. So we're going to talk about that. So first off, and I know I'm going out of order, but what cracked me up on this interview is when he told Steve Harvey he had a baby by the other woman, and Steve Harvey was like, "What?" Like, I'm sorry. That was the funniest part of the interview because Steve Harvey, first of all, doesn't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, so he had no clue about Martell Holt. I think he knew he was a reality star, but he knew nothing about the show. So when they started explaining it with Cheryl Strawberry, she like let Martell have it. When she said he had that baby, oh yeah, Steve was like, "What? Like, Negro, you really ain't getting your money back after that."
That was my part. Because he was trying to rock with him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, what? You got a what? Because he was caught off guard one day. Shirley was like, no, he has a baby with her. He like, oh, it's over.
So I feel, okay, so let's talk about this. So Melanie Holt is doing a lot of different YouTube channels. Shoot, that was gonna curse. I want her to do mine.
I'm about to say, ask her to do yours. Shoot, she's doing
a lot of YouTube interviews. Do you know? Well, she started following me from one of her pages on TikTok, but I think it's because she wants me to do a TikTok for her show. But no, Melanie is doing a lot of TikTok. What'd you say?
I got to get back on TikTok. I haven't been on in a year.
Yes. Melanie has been doing a lot of interviews, though, to promote her song. And so Martell, he has a publicist now, and he's trying to secure a lot of interviews as well. So he sought out Steve Harvey in this morning show to get advice on the Steve Harvey show and do the Strawberry Letter. And so they, Cheryl let him have it. I'm sorry, she did. Shirley Strawberry. Is it Cheryl or Shirley?
Shirley Strawberry.
Yeah, Shirley. She let him have it with this show. She was not holding back. She didn't want him. She was like, hey, look, if you come on here, you're not going to talk negative about your wife. This ain't the platform. Like, you need to, we're going to talk about you. So,
and Charlotte came in and was like, my problem was you showed no remorse. I was like, thank you. That was my issue. I mean, I know you cheated. I know something went wrong, but you got to act like you at least sorry for the disrespect you did. Like, yes. Okay, I'm not saying everybody's marriage is perfect. I don't judge anyone's marriage, relationship, or situation. You make your own rules. You do what you want behind closed doors. But if you want to publicly embarrass your wife and your family, have some remorse for it. Like, you getting real cocky and acting like whatever, and now you want to be humble because you didn't think she would really foul, and now you humble because it really woke up you like, oh my goodness, all this trash I did, she actually filed this time. Yeah. And it's crazy because some men don't realize, and it's not all men, but some men, you could get them 1,000 chances when you shouldn't. But when that one time, it might just click, like, you know what, this is the last chance. And some men think, oh, you can give me 1,000 chances and you ain't gonna leave. And then when that last chance and you wear it out, you be like, well, damn, it's over. Yeah, it's over.
And let's talk about this. What the hell is he going to Steve Harvey for advice for? Like, Steve, well, let me take my glasses off.
He made sense why he did it to me.
Yeah, it made sense because, and I'll say that Steve Harvey has gone through 2 divorces. He married his alleged mistress because his current wife is technically, from what I understand, his mistress. So he made it work. Still, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that because Steve Harvey, Steve Harvey to me is the ultimate Derrick Jackson. He hustled women out of their money with this act like a lady, think like a man, bull, and all this other stuff. Exactly. Who is Steve to judge? I feel like that.
He wasn't judging him.
Who are me to judge? But Steve Harvey, I'll say this, it was great entertainment to listen to this show. And Lauren says, Steve and Derrick are the same person. Exactly. I've been saying this. I've been saying it, Kennard.
I feel like Derrick is worse.
For like a long time.
I feel like Derrick is worse because Steve owns his stuff and Derrick don't.
What does Steve own? Please tell me, because Steve acts like a self-righteous a-hole.
And I do listen to a show every morning, and the Steve Harvey Morning Show. And I listened to it more when I was on my way to work. Now I gotta listen to the podcast since I work from home. But I listened to the show, and he does own his stuff. Like, he admit he was wrong and the things he did. And I feel like Derrick Jack has this like complex as though he does nothing wrong. They both wrong. I
don't even think it's a complex. Derrick Jackson is just a young man, and people didn't know he was young, and he's still learning. Like,
he's old enough to know better. You old enough to know better.
Do you know when he started doing all this bull, he was only like 22?
But now he knows better, and he's still doing it.
He knows better, but to me, they both the same. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna see them both the same.
Feel like Steve got old.
I feel like Derrick Jackson, and I'm gonna say this, and I said it on the previous show. Derrick Jackson saw Steve Harvey and all the money he got from giving this advice to women he took it and ran with it and wrote himself a book and started these YouTube channels, and that's what it was. And this is why I'm not just so mad at Derek Jackson. Me and him went to Tuskegee. He majored, we have the same major, sales and marketing. So I was like, oh, look at this Negro. And we actually have, I'm not going to put her name out there, but I have she was my advisor for marketing, and she was a hustler. Like, and so I would not be surprised if she advised him on doing this, because this lady, I remember she was like, hey, you want to earn some money from T-Mobile, you can put a tower on your land for $5,000. Like, she was a straight up hustler. So that's why I never took offense to what Derek Jackson did, because to me, it was a hustle. Everybody has their own hustle. I didn't feel like he was lying about anything. He was just telling women what they wanted to hear. He was young. I guess the way that I look at it is, I'm not going to say those women are suckers, but it's some women just need that type of guy to entertain them. Now, me, I didn't need that to entertain me. I'm not broken. I wasn't necessarily looking for a man. I was just trying to have fun when Derek Jackson came out. So whatever he had to say, well, oh, here she go. Yes, Jeopardy. She put her name out there. Miss C, yes, and I'm still friends with her to this day. So Miss C, if you're watching, I'm sorry. You're the biggest hustler I know. But she was my advisor for marketing. Lauren says Steve wrote a book and y'all bought it. Derek wrote a book and y'all bought it. Exactly. With Steve Harvey's book, I did buy it because I wanted to see, like, what can he say that's any different from any other man? And so when I read the book, and I didn't grow up with a father. I was raised by a single mom, but the difference between me and I guess other women that were raised by a single mom, which I don't even know if it's a difference, because I never consider myself an anomaly. What do they call it? Anomaly? I can't even say it. I'm not anonymous. My story is similar to a lot of other women. But I think people forget that just because we don't have a father, we have other men that step up to be our fathers. We have our grandfathers, our uncles. We have just different people in our family. So just don't ever, it's so easy to say a woman has daddy issues, but how do you just assume that she didn't grow up with a strong man in her life? When my father wasn't there, I had other men that stepped up in my life. So I was still schooled on the game. I had a lot of self-worth. My mother had me in sports and playing instruments and all that. So I knew my worth. Steve Harvey wrote this book for some women that I guess didn't know their worth. So some of the stuff he was talking about, like men do it as a sport and they doing all this, that, and the other. And you got to think like them. You need to have this 90-day rule and all this other stuff. It's very old school, because to me, if a man like you, he's going to like you regardless of when you have sex with him. So, yeah. So I always felt like he wasn't writing it for me. He was writing it for the whatever women needed it at that time. And so people put this label on the women raised by single moms as this, if he's writing this book for them or writing this book for the woman that's insecure. No, he was just writing it to make money. He was telling women what they wanted to hear. He chose a really good title. So whoever his marketing team was, I salute them on that, because he wasn't that smart.
Actually helped him write the book. They talk about the Steve Harvey show all the time. Shirley helps him write the book, and he said it. He said it even when he first introduced the book. He said it Shirley helped him. So he didn't write it on his own. A woman helped him write the book, but he gave her credit. But he definitely said that a woman helped him write that book. I mean, I was sure I read the book. I didn't read it to get any advice, because I grew up with the dad, but my dad disappointed me at a young age. So you can grow up with a father. My dad disappointed me at a young age because I looked up to him, and he was the pastor. He wound up creeping with people in the audience and in the congregation. So my dad, I looked up to him so much, and when he was creeping with people in the congregation, it destroyed me. And then my mom married again, like 3-4 years later. My mom married my stepdad, who we're not gonna go there. And they're still married to this day. But you can grow up with a father, you can be disappointed, and you have to actually, I feel like life helps you make the best judgment. You can read all the books you want. You can go to all the seminars you want. You can listen to all the podcasts. You can even read the Bible. Your life experiences actually is the best teacher you can have. And you can take that whether you work, whether it's in your personal, professional, life experiences can just teach you more than any book, podcast, or television show can ever teach you. And I feel like when you read these books, you can read whatever you want. But don't read these books and go by someone else's knowledge or what someone else thinks, because only you know what's best for you.
And I want to say this too. A lot of times men will come at us as if we have no protection, not realizing. I'll take Kenny as an example. Kenny is actually my mother's first cousin. If anything were to go,
I'm late.
Yes, hey Kenny, if anything were to go down with any woman in our family, him along with my other cousins, because I actually Kenny, I don't know if you know this, but Andre and Antoine used to watch me and my sister. And some of our other cousins. But I always knew that if anybody touched me or touched my mother or anybody, my mother's cousins, her brothers, because my mother has had 4 brothers. One of my uncles passed away. But her brothers, oh, they was coming. And it was only a matter of time before you got. So please, these women that have these single moms, don't think that there are not other men that looking out for them, because they're there. You might not see them regularly, but they're there. Just know that. But yes, Hannah, you are preaching.
I wasn't trying to preach now. Don't do that.
Yeah, but no, with your story is we definitely need to talk about this on Friday show. I am going to do a Friday show, and we're going to talk about the Black church. Oh, look at my aunt. She agrees. She put up the fist. Yeah, she knows the men in our family will come for you. So all these friends that's doing this bullshit, this bull right now, excuse me, Auntie, they have not come for anybody because I haven't said anything, and I don't want it to go there. But just know that when you come for me, you send in for a lot of people. So.
Cheers.
Oh yes, Lawrence, you definitely have to come. But we'll be, and I don't know if Kenny or my aunt Meredith, y'all want to be a part of this show as well. But on Friday, I'll be talking about the Black church, and I want to have a serious conversation about it. And it's not gonna be pretty. The Black church has affected people in different ways, and I want to talk about it. Here go my aunt. Well, Lord.
I'll be sober all show. I'll have a little man of Chevy, have a little communion.
Yes. But we're gonna talk about that. But I'm gonna go back. We done went off on a tangent. But
Can I say one thing about this strawberry letter that stuck out?
Yes.
There are, and it doesn't happen all the time, because sometimes you marry the mistress. But to me, I felt like Martell really actually wanted his marriage. He effed up. He was cocky. But he's not with the mistress now, because a part of him feels as though the mistress broke up the marriage, and nobody wants to keep looking at the person, even though he broke up his own marriage. But I feel like a part of him blames the divorce on her, which is stupid, but he's a narcissist.
Yes.
But,
hi, Bree.
Hey, Bree.
Pretty girls.
But I feel like listening to him, even though I can't stand his little egghead, I feel like listening to him, he really wanted his marriage, and he's not even with the mistress, but the mistress is out here putting all these posts and talking trash about Melody. Girl, he not with you either. You was with him for 5 years doing out his marriage, had his baby, and then he talking to people about how he dated.
Yeah, he's asking for dating advice from Steve Harvey.
You look stupid.
But no, what people don't understand is, first of all, Melody asked for the divorce. So if she never asked for it, he would have went along with it.
He would have stayed with her.
They say most men do not leave their wives for the mistress. When you look at marriage, because both me and Hannah have been married before, Hannah's about to get married again, and I'm married now. Marriage is definitely a lot deeper than what people think it is. People will say, oh, it's just a paper. No, it's not just a paper. It's a lot that goes into a marriage. Like when you're married to somebody, and let's say you go through a divorce is hard to go through because it's similar to a death. You're taking away something that was a part of your life every day. It could be financially binding, emotionally binding, all of that. You're taking away the normalcy of your life and separating it. So think about men. Men a lot of times like to be practical, and they like the same thing over and over again. So they might mess with another woman, but they're going to always come back to home because that's what's normal to them. So when these men are getting with these other women during their marriage, when the marriage is over, of course they're not going to want to be tied down to another woman because now they're single and they can be free. So why would you want to be tied down to another woman when you just got out of a marriage? And it's not the other woman was just the side piece. She didn't have everything your wife had. She might have had some of the things that you were lacking at that moment, but when you cheat, that has nothing to do with the wife and that has nothing to do with the other woman. It's just all on you, brother. So,
or sister, because women cheat.
Yeah, women cheat too. It's all on that person. So when you are divorced, it's like, hell no, I'm not going into another relationship. I'm single. I'm finna date. I'm finna have fun.
Streets.
Exactly. So all these people that surprised that he's not in a relationship with Ariane is just funny. Ariane is just funny to me. And like Kenny said, yes, divorce is very difficult. It's a lot to it. It takes a lot to get married and it takes a lot to get divorced. And so these people that have never been married before that speak on this, I don't even listen to them. Like until you've gone through what I've gone through, that what your opinion is irrelevant to me because you're just on the outside looking in. You don't know what we go through with being married. It's a lot, a whole lot.
I agree. I only say I respect Melanie a little more because I'm gonna speak from experience. I was Melanie at one point. Like my ex-husband cheated a lot. I didn't know in the beginning, but I had an inkling. And sometimes when you have an inkling that they're cheating, most likely they are. You don't get. I mean, something about we really do have that intuition. When you feel as though sometimes you're, and then if you just batshit crazy, excuse my language, Candace, and you just always think somebody cheating on you, then you need to be single. But if you never suspected and you had an inkling, most likely something has a reason to do that. And I ain't gonna lie, I cannot lie. I was Melanie. I was sticking it out. I was getting cheated on. I overlooked because the first time he was in Iraq, and I'm like, well, you overseas, and I'll overlook it. And then for a long time, I had an inkling, but I didn't know. And I found out maybe 3 years in again that it was cheating involved, and I didn't leave. And then the last time, my kids is the reason I left because they realized like my son saw that I wasn't happy, and that gave me the strength to leave. So I actually kind of from experience had been down that road, and I put up with a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have. And now I'm old, I'm not putting up with nothing. I don't give a hell. I'm not putting up with it now because I've been down that road. So the cheating thing I can't rock with. However, from experience, I kind of see why. But I would say sometimes it's different because my ex-husband is with one of the women he was cheating with now. And I mean, she's a nice lady. But he's still cheating on her. So it didn't even change.
So is my ex-husband. He's with the woman that he got pregnant he got her pregnant while we were married. He's with her now. He did not want to have a child out of wedlock. And so he is the one that actually asked for the divorce. And so Kenny, yes, cousin Kenny, he said that's why he's been single for almost 8 years. He knew he needed time to heal. And I was shocked that him and his wife got divorced. When I was a child, I went to their house. And actually, they have a daughter that has my name. Her name is Candace. She spells it with a K. Beautiful girl. So it was sad for me to see him be divorced because even though he didn't know this, and like I said, he's my mother's first cousin, I looked up to his situation as well because he was one of the men in my family that had it looked like a healthy situation. And he had one daughter and 2 sons. And so, I'm partial to girls. So the baby girl, that was hard to see that situation for him. And I never said this, Kenny. You probably don't even know that I had those thoughts about it. But yes, I did feel a way about it. But him and his wife were very beautiful together. If it worked out with them being divorced, I support that as well. And people that know my divorce story, my ex-husband did marry his mistress, and I don't know what's going on with it now. separated from all of that, got away from all that.
You know what's bad though? My ex-husband cheats so much. He had called one time, called me to try to make a lie up. I was like, wrong person. I'm not her. I won't put her name out there because our names similar. I was like, I'm not her. And he was like, oh yeah, like cut the lie. You don't gotta lie to me. Like, and this was like recently, like we've been divorced for almost 5 years now. But that's how you know, that's how I was like, it's shocking that sometimes you have to heal. Now I'm not gonna lie, when I got divorced, I was a B. I can't front, I can't lie. I was that person who, if you try to approach me, you gonna be like, oh, she's a straight B, and I wasn't looking for nobody. But I had to get myself together. So I didn't date because I was on some stuff. Like, I was like, don't breathe on me, don't look at me, don't say nothing to me. I'm going to work, I'm coming home to my kids, and I don't like no man in this world.
Well, Hannah, y'all know my divorce story. I saw men during my separation. Hell, I have 2 stories, my story times. When I messed with the guy that gave me the Tiffany's bracelet, I was separated. So I have my divorce story. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I was innocent. I knew we were getting divorced. He had a baby on the way. So I knew I wasn't staying, but it's just the divorce took a lot of time to happen. But I had my fun. I was like, F that.
So how many times did you separate it? I separated twice before I divorced. Twice.
No, we separated once. The separation came because I'm trying to think. I honestly don't remember who asked for the separation. I just know I remember butt dialing. Well, he butt dialed me, and I heard him talking about being with other women. I had never heard him talk like this before. What? And so, yes. And so I didn't separate at that time. But when I heard all that, something in me clicked where I was like, I need to get my shit together because I wasn't working. He was taking care of me. I had my son at home who is not his. I was raising my son though as a single mom. And the money that my husband made allowed for me to be a stay-at-home mom. And so when I heard this call, something clicked in me. I don't know if it was my grandmother, Helen Augusta, but she was like, get up, get yourself together, get your own, and leave this man. So when all that stuff went down with the other woman and all of that, I got myself together. When I knew I had enough money saved up, like in the event that I was let go, I had money to take care of myself. I had I could take care of myself. Well, maybe I did ask for the separation. I told him I wanted a divorce. He filed the papers legally for our separation. And then he had his little raggedy self had me served with the divorce papers at work. Like, no. Why you have my home address, but you're trying to be messy. Oh, so, and at this time I was dating somebody.
But at this time, dirty, so I can't. Yeah. That ain't count.
Well, I was dating a guy, and one of the guys I dated we worked together, and he had a wife, and so that was when I was at that time. I can admit I was lost because I was a woman, the other woman twice. And this is all while I was separated. I was married myself, but I was the other woman, and I was still married. And so he had the first married man that I messed with, his wife contacted my husband. And so that was why he had the paper served at my job. He was trying to embarrass me. He had my car repoed at my job. He was just a dirty Negro. He did his dirt. Oh, Bree. She said, y'all, my big sis for real. I learned so much from you. Sorry, Bree.
We keep it real over here, Bree.
Yeah, we keep it very real. But yeah, when I divorced him, because I remember remember I told you did I ever tell this story? I totaled 2 of my cars.
You did tell you told me that, but I don't know if you told anybody else.
I don't think I told everybody that. So I had to buy a 3rd car, and I needed his help. And so we put his name on the car. So he actually bought my 3rd car. And we were trying to work it out. It was that car was loaded too. It was a nice car. But when the whole situation went down with the separation and all that, he had that's the car he had repoed. And yeah, and I went to his, I think I told this in the divorce story. I went to his commanding officer because he was in the military, and I got on the phone like that meme of that lady on that phone, like, like, hello, is this Steve's commanding officer? Because his name was Steve. Yes, he's been cheating on me. He has a nurse in y'all office pregnant because he was a corpsman. He worked in the oncology department.
Forgot we both was military wives.
Yep. My ex-husband was Navy. So I told it all. He was like, what? And my ex-husband calls me, and I'm sorry I keep saying my husband because he's not my husband anymore. So let's get that clear. But he calls me, he was like, you can have me arrested. Jag could have called me and picked me up for my job. Like, okay, and where's the money?
You got my car totaled. It's all bets off.
Exactly.
All bets off.
Exactly. So I know how messy a divorce can get. Actually, Martell and Melanie's divorce went by really, really smooth and quick. Like, they didn't play a lot of games. It took me almost 2 years to get divorced.
My ex-husband waited so long. The very next day, honest to God, the judge would have granted it. Like, you're a jerk for that. It was no reason. We weren't living in the same household because I actually left when he was at work, and his mom helped me move. That's the bad thing. His mom helped me move about a day while he was working. And he was working. At that point, he was working inside a prison, so you can't take your phone in. So he had no communication for hours because he was an officer at the prison where Bill Cosby at right now. At that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was an officer there, so he had no communication for 9 hours. So I was like, I'm out.
Yeah. Exactly.
But to be honest, divorce, it can either make you better or make you bitter or give you time to heal. Some people don't heal from divorce. Even if you initiate it, some people can initiate it, and because I'm not gonna lie, when I first initiated, I knew I did good, but a part of me was like, did I do something wrong? Am I breaking up my family? And it was a lot behind it. I knew I needed my sanity, but I feel like some people, you might divorce, and even though it was a good thing, you might not heal from it. So I think that a lot of times when people do divorce and jump back in another situation too quickly, you don't give yourself time to actually get yourself together. You just bounce into that next person to, try to mend it. Now, sometimes that next person can help you get over that last person. Act like they can't. Let's not act like that. But the people that can't help you, I feel like it don't be a year. It don't gotta be 6, 7, 10 years. But just take a moment to just, be like, all right, divorce. Let me just get my life together and regroup. But Martell's trying to date again already. He's trifling.
Oh, and Kenny said he feels you, Hannah. He initiated his as well, and he kept second guessing himself. So yeah, definitely don't second guess yourself. Sometimes,
I dodged that bullet.
Yes, sometimes. I mean, divorce happens. It's natural.
It's natural. Divorce is natural. Thank you. Because a lot of people are like, oh, don't. And I listened to a lot of the church before I divorced. I listened, no offense against the church, but a lot of that was the reason why I put up with a lot of mental abuse more than anything, honestly. And a lot of it's because I was listening to the church and not even having my own mind.
What's crazy is I would have listened to the church and they having me follow somebody that's a Muslim anyway. He doesn't even believe how they believe. So we weren't equally yoked. So that was why I just took it upon myself. I did what was best for me. I'm a spiritual person, and I did what was best for me because in the end, that's going to be a conversation between me and God, not these people at church. Yes, how do you finished it? But, oh, wow. But yes, going back to Martell Holt, Steve Harvey, the advice he gave him was to publicly apologize to her because he embarrassed Melanie in public. And I'm not gonna say I took that it was bad. I just don't think it was genuine. Here goes Camille. I don't think it was genuine. But what did you think about his apology?
I felt like it. I felt like he meant it, but I also felt like he still had his cocky attitude. I do feel like I don't feel like that was the right apology, but I do feel like he's genuinely sorry because he's seeing the aftermath of him actually not having his family. Like even when you're in a bad marriage, you get in that routine of waking up next to that person, going to sleep next to that person when y'all have kids. He even said before the show ended that the thing he missed the most, Melanie making breakfast for the whole family and they just coming down eating. Like when you get divorced, even when it's bad, those small little minute things you really think about and you kind of missed it a little bit. So I feel like he missed it. So that's where the apology came from. I think he need to work on it. But the only part I like about Steve, he did make a point when he said, you embarrassed her publicly. You have to apologize publicly. You can't do it silently, which makes sense because people will talk trash about you publicly and then want to whisper their apology. No, as loud as the trash talk was, it's as loud as actually the apology should be louder than the
So
disrespect.
you know my experience with that because it's some people we know mutually that
Okay.
they be apologizing very quietly, but the disrespect is very public, and
Very loud, very
people would
loud.
be surprised about that. But I won't go there.
It should be
Um,
louder though. The apology should be louder than the disrespect at all times. At all times. Because if you feel as though you could be big, bad, and bold to disrespect me, you need to be big, bad, and bold to apologize and admit your faults and wrongs.
Thank you. I absolutely agree, Hannah. So we gon' what are your last thoughts on Martell Holt and the strawberry litter? Here go Camille. She got a
I ain't
bus.
got no words for Egghead.
You give me
He
one
don't
more.
get my last thoughts.
Oh goodness.
Oh, Egghead ass.
I'm sorry. I'm up here trying
You
to get.
fine, girl. We all have look.
So let's talk about Melody. Something she's growing and glowing. Come here.
I talk. I actually respect Melody's glow up. It seems like I'm on the outside looking and I just watched the show. From what I saw, it seems like the stuff that she went through, and I'm not saying Melody perfect because it's two sides to each person in a marriage. But I like the fact that she's embracing and becoming a woman of her own because they definitely got married at a young age. And for her to even go up and step out on her own, it's amazing to do. And sometimes it's hard to do. People probably be like, oh, you wanted to do this all along. But sometimes you have to do that to just get over what you've been through. So I respect her actually branching out and being herself. Like I respect that a lot because she was a teacher and stuff before she was Mom Martell's husband. So I respect her just being her own woman and being now a single mom because they got 4 kids. When I left my marriage, I was a single mom of 2. So I can't imagine being a single mom before. So I mean that, and she has one younger child at that. So her still being a businesswoman, branching out on her own, so having starting her singing career and being owning her own person and getting her own sexiness. Because sometimes you could get divorced and lose your sexiness and forget who you were before. So I just respect that as a woman.
Yes, I definitely agree. I love Melody's glow up. She she is doing the damn thing. Now her song, I like her song, and I actually think Melody can sing. But some of these clips I've been seeing on Instagram was like questionable. Like Melody, you letting me down. So you don't like
All
the
the way
song.
down.
I like blues, and it's like a blues type of song. I love Calvin Richardson. It puts me in the mind of that. So I want Melody to keep doing what she does. I think she's doing a good job. I don't know why all these other Facebook groups, because that's what they are, Facebook groups, they hate on her. They want to uplift Ariane. I don't know, they're her savior. So I don't know about that. But we can definitely end it here. We've been going for an hour and 14 minutes. What are any final thoughts you have on any hot topics or anything that you want to talk about? I enjoyed tonight.
I just want to say rest in peace to the greatest to me. I'm not over it yet. I will be. Um, But I just want to say, I hope his family is healing the way they should. I respect Melanie's glow up. It was much needed. As far as the Housewives of Atlanta, Drew can go somewhere. She don't need to come back. Latoya don't need to come back. Um, Personally, the whole show can be canceled at this point. At the reunion, none of them need to come back at all. It had its run. I feel like they only want to keep it on because it's the only black really reality show on there, and they need to keep I guess, black people on TV because they got all those white reality shows. It is what it is. It's over to me. And thank you for allowing me to be on here again. At this point, I just need to be, just join.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. I always enjoy having Hannah. Like she's gonna be. I'm not gonna say because Kanea get mad.
I know, right?
My new best friend. Kanea is my old best friend, but I love me some Hannah. Hannah
I
has
had
been
so much fun with you. I wanted to say that too. I had so much fun.
Yes. Hannah has been a supportive of my channel since day one. She's a supporter of the candy shop. So I want to thank Hannah, like especially for everything that she does for my channel. She is just wonderful. Yes, and Kenny, get at dog.
Dog.
So yes, rest in peace to DMX. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the Candy Shop. I want to thank everybody for watching. I haven't been able to do a lot of videos, but for some reason I'm getting a lot of views still on my shows. I'm getting subscribers, so I'm loving this growth organically. I hope you like me. Sometimes you're not going to be able to agree with me, but you have Hannah here because me and Hannah don't agree on a lot of stuff. But we love to disagree. Yes, exactly. And we all don't think the same, and that's okay. So be sure to make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like my videos, the candy shop, and that's all I have. Good night.
Not you know about two hands.